Alright, to begin this project I had to go through and select the best possible picture to use for my project. So I cut a number of them out. I'm not sure which one's going to work the best. I'm going to go through these step by step, and I have an idea, but in close looking I think I'll go through and I'll find the best one. Now this is a landscape that will possibly work. It's definitely a view of a natural area. There's a nice little stream that runs right through here. We have some small hills that kind of roll down through here, so it's possible. I'm not too sure. I'm going to hold on to this one for a second. This one, pretty much the same thing, even though there are some small buildings and things happening down here. For the most part, it is a landscape. Most of it's made up with nature, so I'm going to hold on to this one too and go through these. This one's definitely about nature, but I think it's too much about this bird right up here. This would be more of a wildlife study. So I'm going to take this one out. This one's not even going to be in my choices. Here's another small landscape. It does have a landform in here. There's a good chance to show some color up through here, but because I really don't have enough information here to show the roundness of these rocks and boulders here with this person probably standing in here, I don't think this one's going to work too well either, especially because there's a person in there. I would probably get too worried about making him look like a person, and that would make this a lot of trouble. So this one's going to be out of there. Alright, these are the last two photos that I have left to choose from. They're both good examples. I could make both of them work. This has a tree up close. I could work my colors up into that a little bit. This has a good show of form down through here. I could work these slopes of the hills right down off to there, and there's a little bit of rocks happening here. There's plenty of space. I've got some far away distance down there where I can work the smaller oil pastel marks, and this tree which is up and close, and I could use some large brush marks or oil pastel marks up in this area. But this one's even better, and I'm going to go with this one because of the strong use of color. There's a lot of different colors in here. That gives me a good chance to show that scientific divisionism, and I can still work my form by changing the direction of the brush strokes back through here and working that space with things that are far away up over here on the ridges, and then right back down in here where these small blades of grass get very close up to the viewer. So I can work both things into this, something far away, close up, color, and form. Step 2. After I've chosen my pictures, step 2 is to use a ruler and line out a 1-inch border all the way around the sheet of construction paper that I've chosen to work best for this project. And that's really simple. I'm just going to lay my yardstick along the edge here. I'm going to use a color pencil. It's red because I know red might work with some of the colors. It'll be a little less obvious than a gray graphite pencil. And I'll go in and just make sure that my borders are all laid in nice and straight. Alright, we've chosen our picture, and now I need to come back in and I need to draw some of these major color changes or some of these major shapes into our final picture. So I have the clouds right up here. I need to draw those in. I have 1, 2, 3 hills to mark in. The plains start right at the bottom, so that's going to be a line right across there. And then I also have these little bushes that I want to outline so that I know where those bushes are going to come in. I'm not too worried about down here at the bottom. See how they do create shapes, and I could outline them, but for the most part when I'm working the oil pastels I can just change those colors. I think I'll be able to do it without having the outlines, but I do want to map these out and draw those into my final picture. Okay, to start things out, put in my fluffy little orange clouds up in there. Very loose outline, drawn fairly lightly, because I want to be able to come in and cover these lines up with my oil pastels. So I'll mark those out. See, got those fluffy little underbottoms right over here. Or maybe there's a little rain falling out. Put those in. And I need to put the hill lines in. So let's see, there's a hill that starts off over here. Follow a couple little bumps down there. and then that slopes down to the plains right here. There's another one right behind him, a little lower, curves off right over there, and then right up over the top at about the same height but further off, there's another little mountain line. I can see that it's got a little snow up in there. I'll come up that way. A couple additional lines for the hills. Some of those trees that are way back there, and then to hit some of these little trees that I have in here, some of the little dark spots. So I'm going to put in this little guy right over here. He's kind of a little ways back there, a little bit by himself, and it looks like there's a pine tree right in here. Make sure that he's mapped out in there. Then there's a couple of bushes kind of over here. Looks like they have some kind of a flower.